So I did some more mining of camera. As you can see here, my diamond stuff turning into netherite, you know, not much. No, but this time I actually wasn't supposed to be off camera, and I did record most of it, but OBS decided to pick up no audio whatsoever. So I ended up with just the second half recorded, but anyways, here's how I did it. First, I made this small gunpowder farm. I'll link the tutorial in the description, and I AFK'd at it overnight. Then woke up the next day with like 20 some stacks of gunpowder. Easy. Then I headed down this nether pathway to a desert that my friend found in the overworld. And if you didn't know, the reason why I traveled through the nether and not the overworld where it's safer is because for every 1 block you travel in the nether, it's equivalent to traveling 8 blocks in the overworld, making it a pretty nifty way to travel long distances in short amounts of time. At the desert, I filled my inventory up with sand, came back, crafted a bunch of TNT, went to Y14 in the nether and mined out tunnels, went back through those tunnels placing TNT every 3 to 4 blocks or so, and blew it all up with redstone torches. The reason I use redstone torches instead of just flint and steel is because for some reason when you light a TNT with a redstone torch or a button, for example, the game doesn't recognize that the TNT was lit by you specifically, so it's considered lighting it indirectly. If you use a flint and steel or a flame bow, however, the game does recognize that you are the one that lit that TNT, and if you by mistake blow up a pigman, they will all get mad at you. But if you blow up a pigman with TNT lit indirectly, you can wipe out the entire pigman population. None of them will care because the game doesn't recognize that you were the one that did it. Anyways, now that I've told you how I blew up the whole nether, I'm going to show you a quick montage using parts of the recording that did have audio. After that, I decided to make a slime farm and spent around 15 minutes digging out this first part of the slime chunk. But it felt like an hour because of how incredibly boring it is, especially with no beacon. But the next day, 3 others were online and 2 were in the call with me, so we decided to finish digging out this chunk, but all together this time. So it goes way faster, and it took us just over an hour to get down to bedrock. I was recording it from my perspective, but again captured no audio, so that footage is unusable. But thankfully I did record with replay mod and made this time lapse, which is kind of satisfying to watch in my opinion, so here it is. Making it a pretty nifty way to travel far distances in short amount of making it a pretty way to making it a pretty nifty way to travel short distances. Making it a pretty nifty way to travel long distances in short amount of time. Making it a pretty nifty way to travel long distances. Bruh.